Welcome back to Rising Stars Telescope, where we give you the most spectacular and astounding news in journalism when it comes to sports media. I know that sports can feel exhausting and a drag when you're playing, but guess what? Sit back, relax, because we're going to give you the perfect catch-up for everything that happened this weekend. So stay tuned. Something really disconcerting, unfortunately, has occurred within the rugby industry of Zimbabwe. One of our star players, SHINGI, has faced quite the setback within his career and is kindly asking all of you viewers right now to assist. If there's any way you can assist through the GoFundMe, the links are right here in the details in the caption and description below. Please do whatever you can to assist this brilliant young man. The reality is, in Zimbabwe, it's often the people that support behind the scenes that make it a reality. I'm just asking not for 15 million or anything, but for you to reach within your heart to give what you see necessary to change this brilliant young man's life and bring him back to take Zimbabwean rugby where it's supposed to be. And in other news, something's been buzzing around lately. I think which really deserves quite the shout out, because shout out to the Heritage Hornets for stinging every single player on the court. I mean, I was there personally and whew, it was breathtaking, because what's being cooked at Heritage, especially by Coach Rossi, is extraordinary. It's spectacular. If you could see the 3-pointers that they're doing, their tactical intelligence, the chemistry that they have, I think all these different factors have actually led up to them winning 5 years in a row consecutively. We can't wait to see you guys win next year, win 6 years in a row, win 7 years in a row, win 8 years in a row. Keep cooking, Heritage. Shout out to you guys. And in other news, our amazing rugby team does it again. Come on, man. I mean, Zambia, I don't know what you were asking for. Do you guys want a round 2 of your loss? But okay, man, whatever happens, happens. Because Zimbabwe came back with a pulverizing, demolishing, and completely destroying victory, 25-19 against Zambia. I mean, last time they came over here, but we were like, you know what, we're gonna come there. Don't worry, we'll bring the fight to you. And that's exactly what the Sables did. So big shout out to Hilton and the team. Thank you so much, Sables, for making your nation proud and continuing to be amazing rugby players. We can't wait to see the next thing that you guys do, because Uganda's coming up. But we're not even afraid. Because we believe in you guys, man. Thank you so much to the Sables. I mean, the Sables are doing amazing. But we know that the players didn't just get there. There was quite the process that they had to go through, the selection, the training. So much went into creating the Sables that we have today. And a really big part of that is the trials. And in that same bracket of news, Zimbabwe as a nation had trials all over the country. From Bulawayo, Gweru, Harare, Marondera, all the provinces came together to specifically delegate who the future of Zimbabwean rugby is going to be. From under 14 all the way to under 19s, people were selected to come into the highest ranks of the nation's rugby team. And guess what? We're gonna wait for the official names to come out. We're gonna wait, and don't worry, we'll tell you soon. We're waiting on the official channels. I think we have actually some news from the studio coming soon, but I'm hearing something. You just have to follow our social media pages to get more information and news. So big shout out to all the lighties out there that are cooking. We can't wait to see what's gonna happen. Whether you're from Gandhi, House, Johns, we know that trials are happening. So don't worry, your name is probably on that list. You gave it your best. Now it's time to prove that you're the cream of the crop. It's not going to be an easy road, but if you deserve to be there, you have to work hard. And we can't wait to see what happens with the Zimbabwe Sables. I mean, Heritage is probably one of the most spectacular teams when it comes to sport. I mean, we just saw the 5-year consecutive victory in basketball. But in other news, there's quite a disconcerting defeat, quite a devastating one that they went through recently on the weekend against Arendal. Arendal had come from quite the loss against Falcon, but they came back hungrier than ever. I mean, I shouldn't even say hungry. They were starving for victory, because the victory that they had was an ensemble cast of brilliance on, oh my goodness. Okay, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6-1 victory. Arendal. Arendal, all I can say is you just did amazing. I mean, we can't wait to see what's happening, because the season's still starting. Anything can happen. I mean, clearly we're seeing that with Arundel, it's not just a game with specific schools or anything, but they clearly have the gumption and the guts that it takes to be champions. So we can't wait to see what's going to happen in the future of Arundel's hockey. And Heritage, guess what? You didn't lose. It's a learning experience. The people are still supporting you. We still believe in the Heritage Hornets, and we still believe that you can come back. So, are you going to prove us wrong, or are you going to do even better? Please, Heritage, for me, come on, do something. So, there are few people in the industry of hockey that can create an impact that creates a role that touches everyone's lives. There are hearts and people that feel impacted just by seeing that ball go striking. But there are people that actually stop that from happening. People that act as the wall of defense, stopping any opposition from penetrating the impenetrable walls when it comes to hockey. One of those individuals is a soldier, a valiant soldier, and her name is TANATSWA MATARAMUSWA, aka the Zim1. I'm joined by her today, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be with one of the greatest goalkeepers in hockey history in Zimbabwe. TANATSWA, how are you doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm amazing. I'm cheesy. I don't know. Like, I mean, so what was the defining point in your time when you said, okay, it's time for me to start becoming a goalie? Because you're probably multifaceted athlete, did everything, but when was the time where you're like, okay, I'm gonna be the best goalkeeper the world has ever seen?
I would say maybe upper six. Grade 7 was just, you're playing a little bit of hockey here and there, but you're not really taking it serious. And then when I started playing hockey again in upper 6, I was like, I'm actually not bad. Like I could do this. So I wasn't as good as everybody else. So I started going for Reds. And then I remember vividly, Coach Reds came to me. He's like, you know what, you're gonna be something. So after that, I started working really hard, and then I went for under 21 trials. And I was panicking because this was my first ever trials ever. So everyone knew, like they knew each other, everyone knew what they were doing, and I was just kind of there. But I was like, I'm not gonna give up. Even if I don't make it, it's something. But luckily I did make it, and yeah, it was just a long story after that.
Wow, that's brilliant. So it's just since then you just kept it rolling, you haven't stopped going.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel now with the history that you've led? The people out here coming now, like what would you say is like the most defining game where you're like, Aish, now I'm that hot?
I would say Egypt. When we went to Egypt, I think that was my first ever international game. And then we were playing South Africa for the finals. And I managed to hold them for 4 quarters. They only scored after like 5 minutes left of the game.
Wow.
So I think that was probably my defining moment. The second one, I'll probably say Canada at the World Cup, the Junior World Cup, when I did one-on-ones, and then I was able to stop them, and then we won the game. So that was our first ever win at the Junior World Cup. So I think that was probably my defining moment, I would say. Yeah.
Well, so like what was the world stage like though? Because I know jamming with hands like Chizzy and House is a way different game when it comes to playing with Egyptians, Canadians. I mean, what's the international game like?
It's fast. It's definitely, it's something different. I think when you play hockey here, you think, oh yeah, we got it. And then you really see how hockey is played. It's fast, it's precise. They really know their stuff. So I think it was, we never went there and thought, oh yeah, we're going there to win. That was never the objective, but we're going there to just experience hockey. So I had fun knowing that, okay, I'm playing against Argentina, the second best or the best hockey country. So it's just eye-changing, I would say, yeah.
Oh, so if you could go back and talk to your younger self, would you like give her any tips? Would you tell her, don't jam this line, it's hard?
I don't think there's anything I would tell her. I think she's done everything right up to this point. Maybe just don't take hockey seriously. In terms of, I think I let it get to me too much, where like if I have a bad game, I'm off for like a couple of days. If I feel like I'm not pushing myself hard enough, I'm off. I put a lot of pressure on myself to be what my team needs me to be. So I think that it frustrates me mentally, and that starts showing in my game, yeah. Wow,
so what was Chile like though, for you personally? Was it your first time at South America?
Yes, it was. It was good. It was good. Like the weather was not too hot, it wasn't too cold either. The turf was beautiful. Wow. I think scenery-wise, it was beautiful. I think it was something that you just need to experience by yourself. Even if I was to show you pictures, it's not really, you just need to be there But yeah, it was something different. Yeah.
Wow. So what was a really big setback and challenge that you might have faced in your career that you're like, oh my goodness, now I have to lock in, I have to push harder, or it really just got you down? Because you're just saying that there were times where you feel a bit low after a bad game. So what was it like?
I think that the time between Egypt, which was in March, and Chile, which was around in December, that time period, it was really emotional for me because I felt like I was in my head a lot. I was like, okay, I'm this person now, right? My team is depending on me. Now we're going to the big games, basically. And I was putting so much pressure on myself. I think I was having like 4 or 5 different sessions a week.
Yo.
Because I wanted to reach that level where I'm like, you know what, I'm ready to go. So having that much pressure and also trying to just juggle a normal life and like a social life is hard. So I was down for a bit, and to the point where like I wanted to quit. I think it was a hard time for me, which I never really spoke about it. But yeah, it was a really hard time for me. I wanted to quit hockey.
Wow.
I remember crying to my mom, and she was like, "You know what, dude? If you want to quit, you can quit, but like give it some time." So I took a break. I took about a month and a half break from hockey, and then I came back, and I was better now. I think I just needed to take a break because I was in my head too much. I wanted to be great. I wanted to be like the person that these kids are looking up to, you know? So yeah, I was neglecting my mental health for a while, but I think that break really helped.
So that was so touching. I mean, mental health is something that people rarely talk about in the sports industry. I mean, we see these people perform with everything that they have, but it's really mentally taxing as well. So I'm really glad that you took those breaks because we wouldn't have the amazing Zim one that we have today. But what makes you the most amazing Zim one is probably the fact that you've been so international. You've balanced not just playing with the under 21 team, but also playing for the national team as well. So how do you balance playing for those overage teams, but at a younger stage? How did you do that?
I think I went there knowing I'm here to learn from these older guys. I think I was playing with masters as well, like these the players from there that also play masters. But I knew I wasn't really the starting keeper when I was beginning. I knew I was there to just learn from the other goalkeeper who was like older than me and she had more experience. But it wasn't really hard to juggle because most of the tournaments were not at the same time. So I knew that, okay, if I finish this tournament, this is my next one. So it was really just, you know, stage after stage after stage. Nothing was really clashing with each other,
Oh, but like I know there are a lot of athletes that can get really cocky when it comes to playing both those teams, playing both indoor hockey and field hockey. Like no one can touch me. You know, then you can get lost in that because sometimes pride comes before the fall. So how did you still manage to keep yourself calm and grounded to get the results regardless of everything?
I think my friends try and really keep me grounded. But it's just, I think I do it for the love of the game. I think you start getting cocky when you start to think everyone is beneath you. I don't think that. I think you can always learn something. If someone's coming and telling me, you know what, I think you should do this better, I think you should save it like this. I never no, I know what I'm doing. I never just push them away. I'm like, you know what, you can always learn from someone. You can always learn. So I never really get cocky because I know that I'm always learning from people. So
who are the people that have really grounded you throughout your journey? I mean, you just said your friends were helping you, your mom was helping you. So who are the other people that really grounded you?
I would say Athena. I played.
Shout out to Athena.
I played the Junior World Cup with her as well as the World Cup. Dee was as well. She pushed me hard. You know, like I wanted to get to a point where I'm like, she's shooting the ball and I'm not scared. I'm like, you know what, I need you to bring it right now. My mom, obviously, she's been pushing me ever since I started playing hockey. And Amber, who I also played the Junior Africa Cup with and as well as the World Cup.
Whoa, I mean, playing on a World Cup stage is insane. I mean, how are you now helping the younger guys that are looking up to you? Because people are now like, oh my goodness, this is him, man. I mean, kids are probably just cheesing when they hear your name, literally. So are you still helping little kids these days?
Yeah, I am. I work at Arundel.
Wow.
So I do get the chance to work with the goalkeepers. And I try and teach them all that I know. I think sometimes, you know, I might get it wrong because I'm like, sometimes I just do things. Like, you know, like I can't really explain what I'm trying to say. So I just be like, just save the ball. But like, I understand that they're kids as well. So I try and like bring it down a bit. But yeah, I always love seeing kids getting up to that level, trying out, being the player. Especially like Form 1s, I'm like, you know what, you have so much potential. we need to start bringing them up from Form 1, not just, finding old keepers like myself to keep playing.
No, tell us more about that. Like finding people from Form 1. What do you mean about that?
I mean, like we start growing players from a young age, so that there's always continuity between players. Because if I then retire and then, there's no other goalkeepers that you've been building up, that's it. So I always try to be like, from grade 7, keep them pushing, work, go to Red's Academy, do your thing, right? So when I retire, there's someone else coming in. When they retire, there's someone else coming in. So there's always gonna be that flow in between. Yeah.
I mean, the whole culture in hockey in Zimbabwe is exceptional.
Yeah.
Where do you think are some of the places where they're probably lacking, especially when it comes to women's hockey? Because I know balancing with the female team can also be a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
So what do you think we could really improve upon in the industry at all?
I would say maybe the biggest thing is exposure. Yeah, I think we need to play a bit more international games, just even like going to South Africa, playing their clubs and all that, because we tend to then go to the big leagues without practicing as much as we should, without having those practice matches with South Africans or stuff like that. Because I know South Africa, they do have these playoffs with other countries, so that always keeps them high, so that they're used to that tempo. So I think we need to work on that. Yeah.
So what are like some of the tactics that a little kid could use right now? Let's say there's this little girl who just first picked up her first stick from Mark Manolios now, and she's learning. Like, what would you tell her to do? Because goalkeeper is probably the hardest position out there. Hey? So what would you tell her to really focus on and press in on?
I would say always compete with others, with infield players to be specific.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think how I became good is I would always go to raids and I would always pick on duos. I'm like, today you're not scoring on me. That's it. You're not scoring on me today. If she scores, I'm like, hey, that was a good goal. I'll get you next time. Yeah, so I think that always keeps you rolling, You're not always bored. You're like, what, I know, set a target for yourself. I know that none of these people can score against me. Let's go. If they score, you're like, hey, got lucky. Let's go again, So yeah, I would say that's the main thing I would tell them, because as a goalkeeper, we're neglected quite a bit, especially during drills.
Tell us more.
During drills, there's mainly infield player drills. And then we just on the other side, just getting shots. And that doesn't really help much. So I think for you to feel included, just make up your own fun. Just be like, what, I'm gonna try and save the ball with my right leg the whole day. I'm gonna try and save the ball with my stick the whole day. Yeah.
I mean, there's so much good happening. I mean, this is a brilliant interview right now. Just hearing about your story and all your accomplishments.
Yeah.
But something's bringing some tears to my eyes right now. We don't want to end the streak.
Yeah.
It's been a crazy 3 years. It's been an insane ride.
Yeah.
But how do you feel now that the Zimbabwe national team for hockey is going to Santiago in Chile, and you won't be able to play here as well because you're not a kid anymore. You're not going to be 21 anymore, so you can't play in that team. How do you feel about that though?
It does make me sad, because it was the first team I ever started playing for. So I think they really helped me a lot. And to kind of watch the team just kind of go on without you. I mean, it is sad. And to have even when we were in Namibia for the qualifiers, I remember my friend came up to me, she was like, do you realize that this is your last ever 21 game? And I hadn't clocked it.
Probably got deep, hey?
It got deep, and I was like, wow, okay, yeah. And I felt the tears coming in, because I was like, this is genuinely my last ever 21th game, ever. So I had to make the most out of it, yeah.
And you did.
I did.
And you did, you could, yeah.
And I did, yeah.
Wow, that's brilliant. I mean, so for all the viewers at home, what's one thing you want to say to everyone at home before we close out?
I would say if you have a dream, just follow it. Even if, sometimes it's bad times, there's times when everything is not happy, everything is not jolly, but there's gonna be a light at the other end. Just trust yourself, really, yeah.
Wow. Well, that was the Zim One, guys, and we had an amazing time just talking to her, understanding the different parts of her stories. I mean, it's been an amazing ride, but this isn't the end of her story. Maybe a brilliant, brand new chapter is coming up. Stay tuned to Rising Stars Media for more information. So that has been your RS Weekly Telescope. Clearly, you can see there's a lot happening in the world of sport, but Stay tuned on our social media pages, especially our Instagram, because we have so much more coming. And we just want to cater to people, especially in terms of what happens on the pitch and on the field, but also off, as we try to tell the stories of our African stars in the best way. There's a reason why we're called Rising Stars, because we want to tell the narrative and the story of people from grassroots level, what builds them, why they're the person that they are, and how they're going to change the future of the industry. You could be a rising star. You are the future of Zimbabwe. So don't stop pushing. I know this might sound like Disney Channel and oh, whatever, but believe in yourself and never give up. You are the future. So stay bright. Shine brighter than ever. You're a rising star. See you next week on